My name is Stephanie Gilmore. I live here on the Gold Coast. There's so much to do. Get up early and enjoy the beautiful ocean, heading to a cafe for a really yummy coffee and a breakfast, and then take a drive into the hinterland. Such a luscious rainforest, so close to the beach. I've traveled a lot in my time, and every time I come home, I'm always so grateful to have grown up here in this wonderful place of the world.
Welcome back to the show, gearing up for yet another great clash. Barron Mamiya fixated in the top 10 at the moment, looking to hold on to that position up against a fellow Hawaiian in Seth Moniz, and Deivid Silva, who's down the back end of the ratings, trying to fight to get himself above that cut line, heading over to Margaret River. Ronnie Blakey here for the call with Felicity Palmatier. Flick, so good to be back here on the Goldie. We've seen some big heats. That last one was unreal. A lot of highlights.
Oh, it's absolutely cooking out there right now. I mean, the local hero goes out and it absolutely turns on. You got the world #1 as well, and then ultimate comeback, Julian. So get back to that live action.
Straight into it, Barron Mamiya, who's been slipping down the ladder since his win at the start of the season. He wants to turn that trend around and climb a couple of rungs here at stop 6 on the championship tour. But the crowd here so invested in that last heat, and just so invested in every heat, because it's so great to have the championship tour back here on the Gold Coast.
It's so epic. I mean, I got down in the crowd before and I was sitting on the rocks, and I mean, you know, shame that we had to move from Snapper, but Burleigh as a location right now is really doing the most. It's giving a lot.
It is, yeah, definitely the best waves on the Gold Coast at the moment, as Liam O'Brien enjoys a solid heat performance.
Sick, Lobby. That was so good, mate.
15.77, the heat score total. Still not enough to win that last heat. Italo, wow, what a way to rebound for the world #1. 16.03, impressive. Got to give Julian Wilson the tip of a cap as well. Probably didn't have the best waves in that heat, but still managed a decent heat score total of 14.07. It's going to shape up to be a very exciting elimination round. Out there in the lineup, Seth Moniz. We've got a Bonsoy replay of him.
Yeah, so a couple of nice snaps there. He whips it around into the pocket, looking for a finish as he brings it through to the inside. And what's he got? Nice tail high air reverse there. So smaller wave, but probably a semi-decent score. And then Barron behind him. So this is Barron's opening wave. Like you said, Ron, he's slowly sort of falling down those rankings, really trying to claw his way back there, but just getting a bit hung up there on that last turn. So a couple of scores dropped in now.
Yeah, 5.33 for Moniz, and 3-point ride for Barron Mamiya. Seth, he hasn't broken into a final series yet this year, but he's managed 3 nights, and that's kept him reasonably well situated. 18th on the rankings at the moment, jumped 4 spots with that 9th place finish at Bells. And it's really been his air reverse that's helped him sort of tap back into some of his better performances. He just, as soon as he got the confidence of landing some big airs, some big rotations down there at stop 5, his rail work just seemed to clean up immediately. He just looked like he switched on. So let's see if he's going to carry a bit of that into this event.
Yeah, I definitely felt that too. It seems like that sort of just gave him all this confidence, you know, during Bells, stopped those couple of big airs, and everything was flowing a bit better, which was good to see. And I mean, he's no stranger to knowing what that cut feels like and being right there and, you know, saving himself in Margaret River. He needed a big result and got it. I mean, so he knows the feel more than anyone else, you know.
Well, he's never been cut.
No, but
despite the fact
he's
hung around that bubble. That's it. I know exactly what you're saying. He's managed to save himself. So he's captain clutch when he gets to that 5th stop.
It's kind of like he needs the pressure to perform or something. It's scary for everyone watching at home and his friends and family, but
I know his sister's puts the pressure on him. She wants the performances. Don't mess with sis.
Yeah, no way. But yeah, you know, I think it's almost like, yeah, the last few years he's been right there and then leaves it to the last moment and probably, you know, giving his friends and family heart attacks at home watching, but he's pulled it off.
Exactly. Yeah, well, he did really well in his rookie event on the Gold Coast, made some big heats, and has been a fixture on the championship tour since 2019. Actually, in his rookie year, had his best ever finish. Got to 12th place. Last year, he rebounded well after surviving that cut, as you mentioned, and getting to 19th position. But always a positive presence around the event side, as is David Silva, who despite, not banking his best results to kick off the year and having his worst at Bells, a 33rd, still gets around these events with a positive attitude, ready to make up some ground. His family, his kids, his daughters, Bella and Julia, will be tuned in, watching, his wife Patrice as well. Let's see if David can turn his year around. Down in 31st position, dropping a couple of spots down there at Bells.
Yeah, it's tough right now for him, and he's going to be feeling that for sure. I think I mentioned it this morning, but I mean, the last heat was anything to go by. It's the gold standard for a goofy out here, right? I mean, Italo just absolutely tore the bag out of it, but it is tricky. It has its nuances out here on your backhand. You're not facing the wave. It's a very fast wave, but so he will have his work cut out for him. But draw inspiration from that last heat. Italo absolutely belted it.
Yeah, you can get the windscreen wipers going at a pretty rapid pace too, and really fling that board up vertically nicely. Let's have a look at the conditions out there, courtesy of Oakberry, and the update is a positive one. We've got, swell around that 4 to 5 foot height range at the moment. It's providing a nice clean canvas for the competitors, Flick.
Oh, it's so dreamy. It's like, classic Gold Coast right now. Just those, small corduroy lines wrapping around that point and just turquoise waters. It's stunning out there today, really. I'm blown away. Burleigh as a venue, even just to, look at the crowds too. It's so cool. You got that stone and wood bar right there. You can position and really check it all out.
Is it time?
Hey,
almost.
45 minutes away?
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, 44 minutes now.
But just under 21 minutes to go. The cool thing is, just here at Burleigh, you're kind of tucked in nicely, close to those stones, and on that sandbar, a little further out that offshore is having a bit more effect on the texture of the water, but hugged in, nice and tight here on the inside. We've got nice glassy walls. Freedom for our competitors as they flex their repertoire and look to tick the boxes on the criteria. Let's see what Mamiya can do. We know him for his barrel riding, but big airs and really hard ripping carves. He's also famous for that. Nice little rotation there. Just working under priority here. This guy's just, established himself as, one of the greats. Not too many people have taken multiple wins at Pipe. To go back-to-back is huge. Oh,
and to do it and take it from John, who is arguably the best. Let's break down this. So just building speed here, sends it to the air. Lands really heavy there. Every time I watch that, my ankles hurt. But sends it to the air. Gets that tail relatively high. Tries to ride out and get another little, something here just to finish. He's trying to back up to 3.
It just didn't have the speed, did he, to place that final turn. But we'll see that all the competitors, especially your regulars, are going to have that little forehand rotation that they can pull out of the pocket. Even without the oncoming section, they're just masters of it these days. Really can project out onto the open face. And it's just a 4.17. They're heavily scrutinised, those air reverses these days. There's a few elements. There's a criteria to getting a good rotation done if you're going to turn in a huge score, and there was a few things missing from that version of the turn for Barron, but he knows that.
Yeah, he'll know that for sure. Like you said, Ron, there wasn't much speed going into that wave, into that air, and partially because that wave was so small, so hard to generate that speed, but obviously want that tail high, you want height, distance travelled, all those things. More inverted, the better. Full rotation, better. But it's not as easy to drop big scores on air reverses these days. Doesn't happen anymore.
No, you got to get that. You got to get that height. You got to have the speed through rotation, and almost complete the rotation in the sky. As we see David Silva now, bit of that punch we were talking about. As he just forces that board out of the lip, gets a bit of release there. hangs on for the finish. Not a lot in it at the moment. Seth has got the best number, 5.33, and a couple of mediocre rides for Deivid Silva and Barron Mamiya. And while Deivid makes his way out, let's check in with Mr. Excellence, Italo, in that last heat, getting it done. He's with Laura.
Absolutely getting it done, Italo. You know, you haven't had much experience here at Burleigh, but coming out this morning and 2 excellent scores. Well, how fun was that? Because, wow, that was just, it was blow for blow out there.
Oh, yeah, that was a good heat for sure. All those guys, they had, like, good scores on that heat, and we had, like, a lot of, like, moments on the heat, you know, like a lot of sets, and that was cool because I had a chance to, like, perform, you know, and I tried to take position in my first wave, and then I had, like, 8 points to start, and then I just tried to, like, surf after that, and then that was a cool heat for sure.
And how cool was it to be out there with Julian Wilson again, and obviously Liam O'Brien, the local guy, such a stacked heat.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Liam is one of the local. He knows the wave. He knows how to surf this wave. And I was, like, kind of close out him, you know, just like to try to find the best moment to take off. And then, yeah, but for sure that was one of the best heats of the day, you know. And it's nice when you have, like, guys, like, push you to the next level, you know, and I'm so stoked.
Yeah, and obviously coming from Bells, serving Burleigh for the first time, how have you prepared the last few days?
Oh, it's way different the wave. Right here, you need to get a lot of like energy on the wave to get the speed, you know. And then because the wave is a little bit smaller than Bells, but I think it's more rippable. You know, there's more like kind of like session and space to perform, you know, during the wave, and you can do like turns and mix with some airs. And then sometimes like kind of like a little barrel. I saw like Leon the last wave, he got like nice like barrel, and I was like, oh, that was cool. And then I was looking me on that wave. Probably after that we're gonna do like a big air reverse on the last session. But yeah, it's pretty nice to analyze all the other guys and try to like mix with your surf, you know. And then I'm super stoked.
Amazing, on fire. We'll see you into the next round.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, Italo, he's reignited. He had, by his standards, a bit of a shocker in the round of 16 down there at Bells, losing out to the wildcard. Xavier Huxtable just looked a little flustered at different stages, but when you look at his performance in the earlier round, in the opening round of the event, he was one of only 3 surfers on the backhand to drop an excellent score. So it wasn't like he was out of form, and he's tapped back into the winning formula here in the opening round as we see a replay of Seth. This one during the interview, 4.4. So Seth, you know, finding the rhythm early, getting himself out in front. Big numbers, no, but still a way more positive start to him than what he's had in the opening round at some of the other events.
For sure, and, you know, he's got a couple of numbers here. I mean, I also feel that we haven't really seen a proper set roll through in this heat yet. You know, you kind of cast back to that heat before, and it seemed like there was quite a lot of opportunity. So it feels like maybe the ocean's kind of going through one of those periods where it's a bit sleepy. Maybe we're going to see a set come through, like, and give that more opportunity for those sort of bigger scores. They're doing the best they can with the opportunity that they have. You know, they've been sort of smaller, faster, shorter, compressed rides. So it's all very even pretty much right now.
Yeah, real advantage to Seth, just with the 5.33. Got a point and some over the next best scoring ride. So, you know, at worst, it could be a decent backup.
Yeah.
But you get the feeling once he gets to the top of that priority order again, he'll settle in, he'll get a little more patient, and he'll wait for one of those sets you're talking about.
For sure. I think now, like, he's got to have to wait for a set, right? I mean, basically, to echo what you said, Ron, like the 5.33, you got to be thinking that's a backup for sure. And, I mean, right now, though, Barron's out there, he's got the priority, and yeah, Barron's got priority, so we'll see what happens. I mean, he's only got a couple of small scores on the board, so you've got to be thinking he's looking for something better too. I mean, I think we're going to see a bit of shuffle.
Yeah, right, 13 and a half minutes to go. Such a different venue to Bells, and we heard Italo talking about it. Comes with a different wave with very different characteristics. The new approach required as we see Seth locking in for some cover. Getting a bit of barrel riding in there. He'll love the feel of that. Can't ask for more on a Saturday morning. As we see Deivid Silva now in second spot. Was chasing a 5.43 prior to Seth's last wave. He does have that serious punch in the pocket when he winds up. Let's have a look at this replay for Seth. Gets a nice little tube on the inside.
Yeah, this is cool. This is a really cupped out bowley wave, super fast, fun little bonus section there. I mean, and then behind him, I mean, Deivid Silva right now, that first turn just so crisp, the timing straight up into that second one. For 2 really good turns there, stomps that third one. So still though, no one breaking away with it.
No, not just yet. Nice combination from Silva. Scores on the way. Seth drops a 4.67, just slightly improving his heat score total. Deivid Silva still hanging on to second. Barron Mamiya with a bit of work to do. We're going to take a Bonsoy brew break as Ian Gentile gets ready to hit the water for the opening round.
Shall we?
Get your fantasy teams locked in. You've still got a bit of time to secure your squad to help you collect points in your own leagues. But yeah, it's important to lock your fantasy lineup in before they get the third round underway for the men and the women.
Hey, that was a good ad. That really had me, that one.
Yeah.
Really good.
Solid. 9.5 minutes to go, and we've got a bit of a slow burner happening here at the moment. Things are pretty tight. We had a wave during the break. We're going to have a look at the Bonsoy replay of Barron Mamiya here.
Wow, so big first opening manoeuvre there. Sets those fins free, and things are getting a little bit sleepier here, but he's maintaining speed and gets a nice finish. So interesting to see where this one goes for Barron.
Yeah, Barron Mamiya, you know, his best finishes obviously coming on the North Shore, winning Sunset, winning Pipe a couple of times. He's had a semi-final finish in Portugal before, but other than that, kind of counting quarters as his best results in foreign waters. So Barron's got to find the winning formula when he leaves the North Shore, because he doesn't want to waste the opportunity of a fantastic start and potentially miss out on the final 5 in Fiji, because he could be a major threat if he can get himself there for Cloudbreak.
Wow, I mean, he'd be incredible out there. And you just got to look at the events coming up, and with the results he's had, like, obviously the win at the start of the year. You got your 10,000 points. I think he got a quarterfinal finish too in Portugal. So you're thinking, okay, like I'm sort of positioned relatively okay here. I got a win under my belt, a quarters. You forecast, you know, to the rest of the year, you've got to be thinking, you know, Chopes is on that schedule. I'm going to be probably doing well there. If he can keep himself in that conversation for that final 5 picture, he's going to be pretty deadly out there. And just imagine the showdowns. If you think, guys like your Jack Robbos out there, your Barrons, those showdowns are going to be pretty crazy.
Massive. You think about Trestles and some of the people that probably the top 5 were happy didn't crack the final series there. Geordie Smith, for example, he's had some big performances out at Trestles. He never got that opportunity, never made the final 5 there. So, he was a big omission from those series. Barron would be a danger man for sure if he could get himself into the final 5 anywhere. He's a guy of the swells on, the barrel riding skills that he's got. He could certainly shake things up, but that's a long way away. 7 minutes to go. The focus at the moment, surely for people like Barron, is maintaining a position at the top of the order, the top of the rankings, and for Seth, it's staying above that cut line. David Silva, he's trying to get above it.
Whoa.
A little further down the line. Nice flow to kick this right off for Silva, who's taken the lead in this heat. 5.7 on his last wave. Has him in the #1 position. Mamiya, he's after second spot at this point in time, looking for a 5.08 here. Already one rotation, loads up, brings it through to the inside, just flicks that board out and loses control. And I think sometimes, Flick, and you can speak to it, we see people who possess that weapon and find themselves on a medium-sized wave and not really flowing beautifully down the line with the variation. They instantly start thinking that that's their go-to. And we've seen it already today. We've seen great scores drop without the airs.
For sure. I think we've seen it go both ways. But I think you just got to go to where your strengths are, and you've also got to go to what the wave's asking, right? Like, Barron could have gone either way there. Maybe it would have been the better option, hindsight. Perfect science, probably maybe turns would have been a better option there. Maybe could have improved on those couple of 4s that he's basically got sitting in the scoreline. But, it's the couple of ways to do it today. Even I rewind back to that first heat, and between Marco and Kanoa, Marco took off just one big section, one big full rotation score. As we look to Seth here, so this recap, the GWM recap, so a couple of nice snaps. This is 5.33, so he started off pretty strong here and sort of very, very even this heat. No one's really running away with it. David Silva, he's got a nice score, the 5.7 on the board. Couple of nice belts on the backhand, followed by this nice little finisher here. But, sorry, this is the 5.7. Just textbook, really whippy, really acute surfing on the backhand. But, so he's in the lead at the moment. And, he's the danger man right now. He needs to be not in that elimination round. And with 4.5 minutes on the clock, he's got second priority, so not too badly positioned, but I still feel it's wide open.
It is. Everyone's got kind of a mid-ranger. David Silva with his punch in the pocket and the amount of water that he moves with those hits. Getting the nod from the judges with the best ride. Seth looks sharp on his opening ride. He'd be very wary of Barron Mamiya, who possesses some similar kind of weapons, of turning in a 5.08 to overtake him. So Seth needs to make a move. And the right move, a smart move with his priority. Talking about the characteristics of this wave, as Italo said, a little bit more high performance here at Burleigh. It sort of lends itself more to some of those big airs, and it gives you the opportunities. It reels down the line a bit quicker to gather a whole lot of speed. You keep driving north and you've got some distractions for the competitors. Just a thumping nightlife here on the Gold Coast that you can tap into, and that's going to be part of the challenge too. Bell's so isolated, Melbourne City, a big commitment to go into town and
that's a big
get
commitment.
Lost in the fun.
Very easy to get lost in the fun up here, Rondog.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, we got live music happening down here at the event site here each and every afternoon, so come on down and be part of the fun, the festival that is the Bonsoy Gold Coast Pro, presented by GWM. Fishers playing up north today as well. That's going to be a scene. As we see now, Seth just trying to really shore up his position here at the moment. Loading up, drives into it. There's a nice hit in the pocket. And we talked about just how much sharper his rail surfing looked after finding some magic moments down there at stop number 5. He's just trying to absolutely juice everything he can out of that ride. His coach, Doug Silva, he's probably going to be the one person I could see getting tangled up in the light life over the next couple of days.
Oh, there's a few people I can see, actually.
Travels with a spare change of clothes and a bag full of glow sticks.
Say no more, Rondon.
But let's have a look at this replay here.
So nice whippy turn. This wave's super fast. It reels off down the line, but he does a good job, like, staying with it. And then the couple of turns he bangs off here, just precision. Sends so much spray flying. Brings it through, really trying to milk it for everything. He is chasing 4.68, so...
He got a 4.33, but I'm still pretty impressed with the act there. I mean, that was a pretty restricting kind of canvas to work with. There wasn't a whole lot of room. He still let go of some quality hits and had great timing.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. I think he looks really good. He looks really connected and connected to the board too. He's surfing so well. I think they just really haven't had that same sort of opportunity to that last heat. You think back to, and sometimes the ocean does this, you know, it's rhythms and it works like this, and it goes through stages where it pulses and then it turns off, and it feels like this one's been a bit slower paced. Haven't really had those sort of bigger double upsets coming through like what we saw in that previous heat. You know, it just almost seems like a different day right now.
Deivid Silva with control, got priority, got the heat lead. Really close here between Seth and Barron, but this heat could be flipped. The order could be completely mixed up with a couple of set waves in the later stages here. Mamiya needs a 5.08 still to get ahead of Seth. And Barron does have second priority, so Seth is, you know, really hoping that not too much more happens in the way of sets coming into the final stages here.
This is going to be interesting, and I mean, look, Seth looks like he's kind of gunning it actually up the point. It kind of looks like there might be a little bit of movement, potentially. Maybe a small little lump coming through.
And here we go. Making his charge, Mamiya. Digs into that first section. This wave already starting to taper. Not a whole lot in it, but he's going to stick with it. It does reconnect down the line. He does well to get a little rotation out of that final section. 3, 2, 1. Just fighting with his hands to get back out in front of that white water.
Patting the kitty.
Patting the kitty, and 5.08's the score. Just thinking back to the work Seth did for a 4.33 in his previous wave. Yes, it didn't have the clean finish, but it's going to be a stretch.
For sure. I think just the height itself, it's hard to manufacture a score like that.
Barron Mamiya is going to fall short. He's in third place. Seth Moniz is going to survive and avoid the elimination round. Deivid Silva with his first heat win in 2025 on the Championship Tour. And he makes the jump past the elimination round. He'll be thrilled about that. Great stuff for the powerful Brazilian. We're going to take a quick break. Up next, Leonardo Fioravanti, Connor O'Leary and Ian Gentile.